So just to introduce myself, my name is Victoria and I'm the marketing campaign manager here at Nest. So today we'll be going through how you guys can make September your biggest month ever, hopefully. Okay, so back to school is obviously one of those key times of year, and it really is a great chance for you to get your marketing in gear and seize the opportunity that comes with that. So if you haven't got your planning in place yet, then it's a good time to start preparing and make sure that your school is ready for the new term. So parents at this time of year are starting to look for the activities that they want their children to take part in the new term and into the new school year. So make sure that enrolling them into your school is on their to-do list and you are at the forefront of their brain. So it's really, really kind of key time of year. We see from the stats of enrolments and new students that we see a huge peak in September. So make sure you're taking advantage of that and that the students are joining your school. So it's all about standing out from the competition. So an important thing to remember is you're not just competing with that other martial arts style or school down the road from you. You're also competing with other activities that your potential students might go to. So at this time of year, parents are going to be seeing lots and lots of marketing from all sorts of clubs and activities and schools all around you. So it's really important that you realise that and also find a way to stand out from those guys. So one of the key things and a key advantage that we've got as martial artists is that there are massive parallels between the benefits of martial arts and things that are needed to succeed in school. And that's not necessarily the case with other activities. So things like the confidence, the discipline, respect and dedication that martial arts kind of instill into students can be really, really important within having sort of a fun and successful school life as well. So making sure that you're bringing that to the forefront, using that in your marketing, speaking to parents and relaying those benefits of it can be really something that can help you stand out from those other activities, and also kind of be that thing that really tips somebody over the edge into signing up, because the fun and the fitness and the friendships comes from most activities, but it's that kind of discipline and respect and things that is a key part of martial arts that hopefully will help them within their school life as well. So it's got a really kind of important role to play at this time of year. So there's lots of things that you can do to try and generate more clients, more revenue, everything that you need at this time of year and that you're aiming for. And basically I'll now kind of take you through some different tactics that you can use to get through that and hopefully have a really, really successful September. So for those new students, it's all about giving them kind of some irresistible offers and incentives and things. So one thing that you can do is almost create like limited number offers. So you want to build that idea of scarcity into what you're offering. So I'm not saying you do have to make it limited, but the idea that maybe you've only got 10 places and they need to sign up quickly and they need to make sure that they're getting that offer as quickly as they can and they're signing up can really help with your conversion when you're doing that. So a lot of potential students and parents will be kind of weighing up their options and looking at different activities and different things that are going. So if you're able to offer them something that makes you stand out, so whether that's that they get a free kit or free join, like reduced joining fee, 3 months training, whatever that is, something that's going to make them kind of move over that line because they say, oh, I need that. And they say, if you can offer like a scarcity by saying there's only so many packages that are available or something along those lines, and that can really help to make people convert. What you can also do is make sure that if you're wanting them to convert quickly, have like a reducing offer. So if they're in a trial with you, say that maybe on that trial day, if they sign up on that day, then they get free joining fee and a free uniform. If they're then sort of umming and ahhing and say, oh, well, we're not sure. So, well, if you give it another week and you leave, then I can still knock the joining fee off for you, but you'd have to pay for a uniform. That can really help somebody to kind of see, actually, if I sign up now and I get involved now, I'm getting the best value for my money. So also another thing to think about is it's not just about new students, it's about generating more revenue and getting the most out of this time of year. So have you thought about a price increase? So I'm not saying that you need to do this across all of your customers. I mean, that's obviously something that you can decide on a business by business basis, but at this point you're signing somebody new up. So take, for instance, that you had 30 extra students and you're currently charging them £32 a month, or your current rate is £32 a month. If you charge those 30 extra students at £3 extra, so charge them at £35, over a year, you'd make an extra £1,000 on what you would make by charging them £32. So assess where you're sitting in your local market and what the sort of, how you compare with those other activities. And if there's room for you to kind of increase your price a little bit, it can be a really easy way of just generating that extra bit of revenue, which we all know is really, really, really helpful at any time of year, but particularly now. So a really key thing is not forgetting your current students. So what I see a lot of, and what I speak to people a lot about, is that there's kind of tunnel vision of, I need to get more students, I need more people in, I need to increase my numbers. However, retention is just as important, if not more important, for your growth. So if you're losing students at the same rate as which you're gaining them, one, it's very expensive because every student that you bring in has a cost, whether that's your marketing budget or the time that it takes for you to give them that trial lesson, get them signed up, a free uniform, whatever that is, there's that cost attached to it. So if you're losing people in the bottom end and they're falling out, then you're not going to grow at any rate. And that is a lot more expensive to keep trying to replace them through new students, whereas your current students are already with you. Hopefully they're already having an amazing time. If you could keep them loyal, then that's really, really good. So there's lots of things that you can do at this time of year to engage with them. So it's a really busy time, especially for families over the summer period. There might be holidays. They know they're getting ready for the new school year. So if they already are signed up and they're already with you, that's the sort of time that it can be difficult, it can be easy to drop out of that routine and not be coming. So if you can give them a reason to come and you're checking up with them and make sure they're there, then that can really, really help. So things that you can do is, we all love a good kind of referral incentive. So asking them to bring a buddy to a lesson, or give them a sort of like leaflet or something to refer. But you can do that and make that more exciting for them by giving it kind of a bit of a back to school twist. Ask them to bring a new classmate, and you can give them a prize or an incentive or some reason to make them come for that. So just making sure that, I know a lot of people will run this throughout the year, but making sure that you kind of really give it a push at this time of year it helps on all fronts, in that you're engaging with your current students, it's free marketing for you, and hopefully it will result in some leads as well. So it's kind of win-win on all angles. It's also, as I say, while it's a busy time, it's really important to make sure that you're kind of really up on that check-ins and engagement that you're doing with those current students. So what was the reason that they came? If the reason that they came was confidence building, is that happening? Are they now much more confident than they were when they joined? Can you have that check-in, talk to the students, talk to the parents? It makes them kind of just reiterate that reason as to why they are with you and why they are still coming and staying for their martial arts. And it could just be that thing that just reignites kind of their passion for it and wanting to come, and can really, really be helpful. That communication is really, really key. Things you could do specifically kind of back to school themed is, like, the concept of record cards is obviously nothing new. Get your students to like complete things with different tasks and things, but you can make that back to school themed. So whether it's sort of take a photo in their new uniform while they go to school, or get somebody at school to wear their belt at playtime, something like that. You can have a number of back to school kind of themed activities that you get them to mark off on this record card. And then when they bring that back, maybe that's a kind of small prize for them, or a badge for them. If you run kind of like badges and stickers and that sort of scheme, like, you can just work that in and work that back to school kind of theme into that. So that it means that there's just a little bit more interest and excitement and you're keeping them engaged. Also, they'll be probably seeing your advertising externally around the free offers that you're doing, and the trials and the free uniforms and all that sort of thing. And it's important not for them to not feel like they're getting left out, and not to feel like they want to go somewhere else because they can get that better offer. So maybe if you're giving them discounts on kit, merchandise, any courses you're running, so they feel like they're still really, really valued. And obviously that's a revenue generator for you as well. But it's meaning that they don't kind of feel left out, and that you're only interested in the new students, that you care about them as a community as well. And that can be really, really key. So just, yeah, don't forget those current students that are there, because they really are very important to your growth. This is a time of year where it's really, really important to harness the power of reviews. So as I said before, parents are going to be seeing marketing efforts from lots and lots of different, both martial arts clubs, different activities, all sorts of things that are within your area. And if you've got testimonials from your current students and their parents, it builds that trust and helps you to really, really stand out from those other people. But it can really help at this time of year to give them a bit of a back to school spin as well. So have you got somebody that was kind of struggling with bullying and now from them coming to martial arts, that's really helped them? Or this time last year, their parents were really worried about them going to a new school because they were worried about their confidence and how they were going to behave and what was going to happen. And has training martial arts over the last year really, really helped them with their school journey? Maybe it's transitioning from primary to secondary school. If you've got stories like that and you've got people like that that are within your school, now's a really, really good time to get them to give you a review, give you a testimonial, so that you can use that in your marketing. And also it's a story to tell when you're talking to your prospects. So you can obviously use those throughout the kind of months to come, but it's a good time now to get them so that it feels very kind of tailored to the time and is very relevant to the thoughts that current prospect parents will be having. So one tactic that we see quite a lot is the idea of like a mass intro or an open day. And they can be really, really good for giving you a big, quick boost of lots of new signups and lots of new students. But it's all about giving them kind of a reason to come. And at this time of year, as I say, I keep saying, but chances are there's a lot of these things going to be happening in your area. There's a lot of things for parents to choose between. So if you can plan an event and give them a reason to come to your event, then that means that you will stand out, and hopefully then that means you can go in and start doing kind of your sales tactics and what kind of works well for you in converting. So things like using a theme for your event. So I say the great thing about martial arts is that it can work into all of that stuff that's really good for school. So maybe it's an anti-bullying workshop, something around improving grades or having confidence going back to school. If you market something around that and market it to both your current students and also any prospects, so getting them to bring people along and just advertising it in the local area, then it can be a really, really good workshop for people to attend and a reason for parents to bring their children, because it can be useful to them even if they don't sign up. So it's not that obvious come have a trial sales sort of situation. Quite a novel idea, but I've heard of it working in the past, is the idea of a uniform swap. So obviously at the minute, a lot of parents are kind of struggling with the cost of living, and back to school time can be really, really costly for parents. But this idea of a uniform swap has sprung up. So where parents will bring old uniform from their children, so maybe it's too small or they've changed from one school to the other and they've not worn it or whatever, and they bring that and then they're able to swap it for the uniform that fits their child and will work for them for the new school year. So if you're able to be the host of that, but alongside that, you've got your trial lessons, you've got things like games, arts and crafts for like all the other members of the family, you can actually have a reason for them to come, and then your school becomes a place for them to come, do that, host that, and then you've got the opportunity to also showcase martial arts and everything that goes with that and your sales process around that. So it just is all about that kind of giving a reason for them to come and to come to your school and make the effort to turn up, so that then obviously you've got them as a captive audience to showcase the benefits of martial arts and why they should sign up. So also say it's all about back to school. So now is a really, really key time to build those school relationships. They can then kind of go and be fruitful for you throughout the year to come and onwards from that as well. So there's sort of a lot of opportunities coming at the moment around participating in back to school events that they're having. Like a lot of like assemblies will be hosted, like back to school things where parents are invited in to see the school and see the children in their new classes and things. That's happening a lot in schools, and that's all the planning for that is happening at the moment. So make sure you're kind of getting involved in that. There's also always the offer of after school clubs. So this could be a great revenue boost and a lead generator for you. So this kind of schools will often run these in two ways. Either you provide the after school club completely and it's in your name and marketed through you, and you just kind of use their premises to do it. So that's one way. Or it's hosted by the school and you are almost like a provider, and then you are paid for that. So then they're not necessarily members of your club in order to take that after school club, but that is that revenue boost. And then obviously you've got them as a lead generation from that, where you can hopefully encourage them to sign up and get them to come to more lessons in a week or at the weekend. So yeah, now is a really, really key time to be building those relationships with those schools and getting in there whilst that is all kind of happening and they're getting ready for a new school year as well. So that can really, really help. So what always get asked about quite a lot is Facebook advertising and what's kind of the best way to do it. So any Nest clients, like we've got lots of resources on the marketing toolkit and things for you to look at this, but just kind of a quick sort of thing is that this time of year, it's really important to be using some precise targeting to reach your parents in the area. So as you can see from this little screenshot here, if when you're doing your targeting on your Facebook ad, if you type the word parents in, there's all sorts of options with different age groups in there. And what this does is Facebook knows based on what people are searching for and what pages they follow and things like that, they can work out if they're a parent of a child of a certain age. And therefore, if you're targeting them specifically, then that means that you're being a lot more targeted with your advert and hopefully you're reaching the right people. Also, your location targeting as well. So Facebook's recently changed that it used to be that the targeting, you either had to choose whether somebody lives in or visited an area, whereas now those two have been combined. So it's just one to watch out for and to make sure that when you're looking at setting your ads and setting that location targeting, that if you've got any schools that are nearby, that they're included within that, because people may not necessarily live in that area, but if they're dropping and picking children up from school, they're there twice a day. And then making sure that that's obviously in their targeting, so that if you are close by, then they know that they can get involved in your school fairly easily without too much of an additional drive. So it's quite a bonus that you can now do that for both. Then obviously you can also do retargeting ads. So now's a really good time of year. If you've got people that you know have shown an interest previously and maybe have been on your page, then you can make sure that you're using a retargeting ad to hit them with something, with maybe the offers that you're doing or some back to school themed ads. So they already have a bit of brand awareness about you. So they know what your school is about. So you don't need to be kind of so specific with all of the information, but you can just give them a little bit of a reminder and a bit of an idea as to what you're up to at the moment and what your offers are, and hopefully kind of target them. And that also goes for your prospects as well. So if you've got a prospect list and you've got a number of people that you've met, say through events in the last couple of months, or they've signed up to alerts from you, or you've got their information from various different places, now's a really good time to send out an email campaign to them detailing what you're doing for back to school, because I say again, people are going to be looking for those activities at this time of year. So yeah, so hopefully that's provided a really good kind of roundup of lots of ideas and to help you get planning. Now we could do a bit of a Q&A and take some questions. So I'll just have a look, see if we've had anything yet. You can either send these through the chat or through the Q&A section. So just if you're doing either, just make sure that you've got the right sort of two set on there so that it's coming through to the host so that I can see it. Yeah. So we've got somebody saying that a lot of kids activity providers in their area don't offer free trials and ask people to sign up their child as a member at the beginning if they wish to do classes. So would this work for martial arts? If so, how would you what way would you word the offer? I think it's very much a business decision for what you want to do and what you want to do with your business. Like I know clients where it works both ways, where they get people to sign up first or they offer the free trials. I say sometimes that the risk of asking them to fully commit to a membership before they've had any class can turn some parents off. The idea of a paid trial can often work quite well. So I know that's quite common in sort of a gymnastics and a swimming sort of area, in that you pay, say, for 2 weeks of trials, and that's £5-10 a lesson, and they then come for that, and then at that chance that sign up. So that can really, really work well. If you're wording it like that, then you can almost word it as like an introductory program, sell it through like that. That can really work well. I say it really does depend on what's in your area, because I say if in your area a lot of people are offering a free trial and you don't, then that can kind of have a negative impact because they can go elsewhere. But then if people are not offering those free trials, then you offering one can get more people, but also you've got that kind of balance of seeing the value out of something. So a paid trial can be a really, really good kind of middle ground. I would say that getting people to sign up on a direct debit and sign up for a membership initially can be quite risky, because I say you can turn people off, because we all know kids are quite fickle and won't necessarily, they'll say they want to do something and won't enjoy it. So it's being able to kind of get them to test it out is always a really kind of good sales tactic, and also gives you the opportunity to speak to the parent as well and see what's happening. So yeah, hopefully that helps. So we've got another one that says, how would you start building a relationship with a school? So there's a number of ways you can do this. Some schools you can approach really, really easily, and they'll have like almost a dedicated email address, and it's really kind of open and easy to see on their website, or just give them a call. And that can be a really, really easy in. Other ways that you can do if you maybe haven't got that is start speaking to the parents of people in your classes at the moment. Chances are you'll find that somebody's on the PTA, or one of the mums works in the school as a teaching assistant or something like that. Find out if there's something in that way, and then you've already built that connection and it's already there, and it can be really, really helpful to kind of get that foot in the door and get you there over somebody else that's kind of maybe considering speaking to that school. So that could be really, really helpful. And then another question, so about talking about the value of the offer to prospects, so saying about decreasing that, and shouldn't you give the same offer to everybody? So that's sort of, it's very much a marketing idea, but that idea of that scarcity, and that there's a limited amount, and that the time that the offer drops as you go through is very kind of common, and it can work really, really well. So if you think even things like internet shopping, you'll get an offer from an online retailer, and it's, if you respond within X amount of time, you'll get a 20% off voucher code, and if you respond later, you'll get a 15% off one. So that people are very used to that kind of idea, and it can be really, really good to help move people through the process. And should you give the same offer to everybody? Like, you don't have to. It's up to you. It's the offers that you are giving out. So if what you want to do is try and move people on and move them down that sales process and get them signed up. So it's whatever you need to do and you're willing to do that. So don't know if we have any more questions. That's all the ones I've got for now. So if anybody has any questions afterwards, then feel free to give me a call. If you're a Nest client, then I can happily help you out. If you're not with Nest as a member yet, then the email address on screen at the minute, so the inquiries at nestmanagement.co.uk, if you drop an email over to that and mention Victoria, they'll pass that over and I can give you a hand. Thanks very much, and hope you all have a lovely day.